Just turn me now, just turn me now. Like, I'm just send me home. I'm gonna go pack my bags while you're doing everything. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Macy. If you clicked on this video, you're probably a CP, or you're going to be a CP, or you're considering being a CP, and I'm here to tell you that this is not clickbait. I was almost termed from the Disney college program. It was one of the scariest days of my life, and I'm here to tell you the story about it. Why am I crying? Oh my god. So this story does take place when I lived in CP housing. And there were 5 of my roommates, including me. 2 of my roommates were actually termed because of this, and I got permission from one of them to tell the story. But the other girl who was termed, she cut us off completely. She doesn't talk to us anymore, so I can't get permission from her. I'm just gonna change the 2 main girls' names in the story. So I remember this day like it was yesterday. It was a crazy day. I had HOH in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom. HOH stands for Heart of House. So you would go before the park opens to like put new merchandise out. This was my one and only HOH shift, and the shift was from 5:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. So I got off around 1:30, didn't get home till 3 because I remember I stopped at Walmart because my roommate had self-termed and she had a fan, and I was so hot and tired of hearing everything outside of my room that I decided to go buy a fan myself. So I got home around 3, I put the fan together, and 2 of my roommates that were home, we're gonna call one of the girls Michelle. Caitlin, who was my other roommate, that's her real name. Michelle had to go to work. Michelle didn't have a car. Me, Caitlin, my roommate that's self-termed, and then another girl, we'll call her Sally. The second girl I had to change her name for. We had cars. So Michelle needed to go to work and Caitlin offered to drive her. So they left around 3:30, I would say, like right after I got home. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally just gonna take a nap because I'm exhausted. I had to be at work at 5:30 in the morning, and it was such a long day. I was so tired. I plugged the fan in, and I did that so it can drown like the sound out in my room because I could hear everything, and I was so tired of hearing everything. I just wanted to take a nap. So the lights are out, I have like dark out curtains, and I hear a knock. And the way that my apartment was, right behind my bedroom was the entrance to the front door of the apartment behind me. So I was like, oh, someone's probably at their apartment again, because it was very faint. Like I didn't know if I heard it, but I was like, someone's definitely knocking, but I don't think it's at my apartment. I heard it again, so I was like, okay, I'll get up. So I walk out of my room and all I hear is CP housing, we're coming in. I'm in a big oversized sweatshirt and like I have Spankies on from when I was in cheerleading. I was wearing underwear and shorts, but it didn't look like that. So they walk in and they're like,
are you dressed? Like, is this okay? Like, can we come in?
I mean, I guess you're already in my apartment.
It was 2 guys and 1 girl. And they come in and they're like,
can we see your housing ID?
So I go in my room and I'm like,
What the fuck is going on?
give them my housing ID.
Oh, it says you're under 21, so there should be no alcohol in this apartment, right?
Yeah, correct.
We're here to check if you have drugs, alcohol, weapons. We do random checks sometimes.
Go ahead, like, go for
So
it.
they're like, which one's your room? And I was like, this one over here. And I had room number 1 and I was all to myself.
Do you have any of those things in your room?
I shouldn't. I don't have any of that. I didn't bring any of that to the apartment.
They start tearing the apartment apart. Like they were looking for something, okay? They were just going through our trash cans. They were going through the cupboards no one can even reach. They were going through everything you can think of. They were going through all of our rooms. And the first thing that the girl pulls out of the fridge all the way in the back is a can of beer. And mind you, all of us are under 21. And I'm like,
That is not mine.
and she was like,
Evidence number 1.
oh my god, there is alcohol in this apartment. Someone had to have told, and that's why they were there, because I've never heard of just random checks. I mean, that might be a thing. They knew what they were looking for and they just needed to find it. I cooked all the time, so I was like, how did I not know that was there? But it was all the way in the back. Like food was stacked on top of it because there was 6 girls at one point. There's so much food in here, how am I supposed to see that? And I'm the only one here. It's in the common area. She opens the freezer and there's another can of alcohol. Okay, I'm gonna get termed. Fuck my life. Like, fuck me. Like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting there like, just turn me now, just turn me now. Like, I'm just send me home. I'm gonna pack my bags while you're doing everything. And they're like, all right, now we're gonna check the rooms. Since there was 2 male officers and 1 female, I had to be with a female at all times while she checked everything. So we went into my room. They checked everything, like literally everything. They checked everything. I had nothing. They go into Michelle and Sally's room, and they were roommates. And then Caitlin and Lola were roommates. They go into Michelle and Sally's room, and they go into the closet, and there's like a bag of alcohol. I think there was only 1 bag. I don't think there was 2. I don't remember. But there was alcohol in there, and they tore their room apart. Oh my god, like they were going through suitcases, dirty clothes, like under the bed, in the dressers. Everything was a mess. I'm just sitting there like,
my life's over, like, can I go home now? Like, I gotta go book a flight.
they go into Lola and Caitlin's room. Everything's good. They're still going through everything. They come up to me after they search everything, and they're taking pictures of the bags of alcohol and alcohol in the fridge and the freezer.
You need to come write a statement at housing, and as soon as all your roommates come home, they have to do it too.
And they're like, we don't do the terming, we just turn it all in. And they were like, we're gonna write down your statement and what you said when we first came in and all this stuff. So I'm like freaking out. Literally 3 minutes after they walk out, 2 of my roommates come home. And I'm like, we have to go to housing security right now. And I'm telling them everything that happened. And these were the 2 roommates that, like Caitlin and Lola, they had nothing in their rooms.
Like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like, what? It's in the common area. We're done. We're screwed. We're screwed. Like, they're not gonna listen up.
We were terrified. Sally actually ended up coming home. And Sally is the girl that doesn't talk to us anymore. We were all so close. Like, all of us were so close, and she just stopped talking to us after everything happened. Sally comes in, you just feel like it's like dark and heavy in there. Hey guys, and I'm like, you have to go to housing security. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I was home alone, they came and did an inspection, and there was alcohol in your and Michelle's room, and they need a statement from everyone. And she's like, fuck, like she knew that it was over. It was in her room, you know? We were texting Michelle, like, you need an ER, like you need to come home. She couldn't. She was still training. We ended up texting her, telling her what happened. She still couldn't come home, and she was devastated. We ended up finding out from housing that we had a meeting with Disney Housing the next morning, and that if we had to work, we needed to call our location and tell them about it, that we might not come in or we might be late. If for some reason we're able to come in, they would be able to, like, Disney would cover the shift. I remember I had a shift for Tower of Terror. It was like a 6-hour shift, a 4-hour shift. It was really short. I don't remember how long. Oh, I'll get into that later. The next day rolls around, and we're all ready in the morning because we don't know if they can call us between 9 and 10, and we have to be ready to go if they do call us. And at 9 o'clock we get a call, and they're like, hey, can you guys all come down to CP Housing? Like, they have like a clubhouse, and like you'll just go in there, you'll tell them what you're there for, and then they'll send you to the people in the back. We're sitting in this waiting room. This guy who's like, he works for Disney, but for Disney Housing. He like introduces himself to us, and he's like, I'm gonna call you guys in one by one and ask you guys some questions. So he calls everyone in by one. He interviews me, and he's like, you know, you were the one home alone. I was like, yeah. He was like, you know, that sucks, you were there by yourself. I'm like, yeah, very much so. He's asking me who bought it, if I knew it was there, and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, okay, I know people drink. I know that we're underage. I can tell you that I have not drank in this apartment, and I have not drank since I have been in Orlando. I didn't know it was in the common area. It was hidden. The girl literally took food out. Like, she almost knew where it was. I didn't know it was there. If she had to take food out of the fridge to find it, I mean, I'm not just gonna open the fridge and be like, oh, look, there's a beer. I didn't know that Michelle and Sally had drank since we've been in Orlando. I told him everything that he needed to know. I was not lying. I told him everything. Some of my other roommates, they did lie. I was scared that if I lied, it would come back and bite me in the butt, and then I would get in more trouble. And that's just always how I've been. I'm gonna tell the truth. If you ask me a question, I'm telling you the truth, even if it's bad. I did see the alcohol at one point, but not in a common area. I saw them have it, and then I was like, yo, like, we can't have this. Like, I don't care if you drink, but not in here. And then I never saw it again. So in my mind, it was gone. It was gone because they weren't gonna keep it in the apartment. That's not smart. We all have our individual interviews. So what happened is Sally had an older cousin. Her older cousin bought alcohol for Sally and Michelle. Michelle gave Sally money. Sally gave the money to her cousin. and then Sally snuck it into the apartment. We all knew that. She told us that, and she said that she would tell the truth at the interview with the guy who could term all of us, and she didn't. The guy ended up sitting all of us down. It was like, everyone's telling me that this one person brought the alcohol in, but until that one person fesses up, you guys are all getting termed. And we all look at her like,
this bitch is telling him that she didn't bring the fucking alcohol in.
we all know you brought the alcohol in, but until you say it, he's gonna just think that we're like, oh, we're just gonna blame her. She brought the alcohol in. She told us the day before when we were all in the living room, she brought the alcohol in and she's not gonna lie to him. She didn't want to get termed, so she was gonna let all of us go down. Like, I'm sorry that this is happening, but you cannot let all of us go down for something you did. And Michelle was just as much to blame, but I love Michelle and she didn't lie. She told what she did, she told what she knew, and she wasn't lying, you know? But Sally did not want to confess because she didn't want to get termed. So either she was gonna get termed or all of us were gonna get termed. But I was freaking the fuck out, okay? So he's like, I'm giving y'all 5 minutes and then I want all of y'all to come back in with an answer and let me know what's going on. Sally gets up and she's like, I'm sorry guys, like, I'm gonna go do it. So she walks in and we're just all sitting there and she comes out crying because she got termed. Michelle walks in, she's come out crying because she got termed. And then they call me and bitch my fucking heart. I was like, what the fuck? Because they said, Caitlin, Lola, you're fine, you can go. And I'm like, they're gonna term me. I don't know what the fuck I did, but they're terming me. And I go into the office and the guy was like,
So since you saw the alcohol at one point and didn't say anything, we're giving you a written warning. And if you get 2 of these, then you'll get termed.
What about the other 2? They saw it. Did they get a written warning?
They didn't say that in their statement.
that's what I fucking get for telling the truth. A written warning. Basically, if I got 2 written warnings, that meant it's with CP Housing, so it wasn't with Disney, so it didn't go with my record card. So if I got 2 Disney Housing written warnings, then I was termed from Disney because I was ruining like the Disney housing codes. I don't know, some bullshit like that. If I would have failed a room inspection, or if that would have happened again, or if I would have walked around property without my ID, something like that, if I would have got 2 written warnings, I would have been gone. But I was not termed, thank God. Unfortunately, Michelle and Sally were, and they had to be gone the next day, and it was just a really sad and very stressful few days. Oh, and then I called out on my Tower of Terror shift because I was a mess, and my Tower of Terror shift started at like 10. We didn't get done till like 1 o'clock or something, and I was like, I'm not going in for 2 hours. So I called out, the guy was mad, whatever. But that was the time that I almost got termed from Disney, and it was one of the scariest days of my life. Still really good friends with Michelle to this day, and you know, everyone makes mistakes. I don't hate her for what she did. I wish there was a way I could have helped her and like, you know, kept her and Sally, because me and Sally were really close too. We were all really close, but she just stopped talking to all of us. I don't know if she blames us, or I don't know. If you are a CP or going to be a CP and you're under 21, don't let someone else possibly ruin your chance at staying at Disney. Because if for some reason I was rooming with one of those girls, or anyone, and they had alcohol in and I had no idea about it and someone found out, I would be termed too because it's in my room and I had no idea. Let everyone know, like, hey, these are the rules. That sucked because then it was only me, Caitlin, and Lola. I did get new roommates though. One of them is my best friend, Helen. She's great, so like it worked out. That was the time I was almost termed from Disney, but thank God I wasn't. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a huge thumbs up. I told y'all I am posting way more, so whatever. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. You can comment down some Disney questions if you have any. If you are a CP, if you want to know something, I will gladly answer that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
After the war, I went back to New York. After the war, I went back to New York.
I finished up my studies and I practiced law.
I practiced law.